Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
What's on Tap is back, and we are still not in a bar. Sorry, I'm your host, Stefan.
I'm Matthias.
And we are still not in a bar. I hope you had a wonderful Easter holiday. We didn't do much, just drank some beer and hung out. And today we are joined by
Tomas Lindohf.
And Thomas, you are the
chairman of the Swedish Beer Consumers Association, or in Swedish, Svenska Ölfrämjandet.
Excellent. And what does the Swedish Beer Consumers Association do?
Well, it's an association for beer consumers, basically.
Okay.
So we try to look after beer consumers' rights and things like that.
Okay, so just basically anyone that drinks beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So if you like beer, no matter what kind of beer, you should really be a member of.
But what if I only like Prips? Am I still allowed to be there?
Oh, of course.
I don't know. There should be some quality standards there.
Yeah, well, we don't really set in a bar for what you drink, what kind of beers you drink.
Okay. So no judgment. It's like you can all are welcome.
Exactly.
It's not
everyone is welcome.
Okay. And so what do you advocate for? Just to make sure there's access to beer, or
mostly craft beer, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a big craft beer nerd. So
yeah.
Obviously.
Well, you're on the show, so you have to be.
Exactly. But we advocate for craft beer and for reasonable prices and reasonable taxes.
Okay.
And also a good quality of the beer.
So do you lobby the government to help?
We try to lobby the government, but the problem there is that at the moment we are not enough members.
Okay.
We have around 2,000 members around the country.
It's not enough. I mean, there's only 9 million people in the country. That seems like a groundswell.
And when you talk to politicians, it's all about the numbers. So the first thing we have been talking to politicians before, and as soon as we try to present our case, the first thing they ask is how many people do you represent?
Okay.
And if it's not around, I mean, like 30,000 people or something like that, then they just zone out.
Okay, so it's not
because when we're talking about alcohol issues, our main competitor is IOGT-NTO, the temperance movement in Sweden.
Those people.
Yeah, and they represent around 35,000 people.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons that they have such a big influence on the government and on how the laws, the alcohol laws in Sweden are written.
Was there another?
So if you want to change the alcohol laws, one of the ways to do that is to become a member of Svenska Ölfrämjandet, because the more members we represent, the bigger influence we can have on the government and on politicians.
Now, can you join forces with other alcohol consumer groups to form a larger power base? Sure, there's us, but there's also like the whiskey people and the wine people.
Exactly.
And,
I mean, the wine people, the Moonshänken, I think they have around 10 or 20,000 members or something like that. And I'm not sure how many the Swedish Whiskey Association have, but we have started to look into to cooperate with other consumer associations.
It feels like there would be enough of collectively that you could sway people in one way or the other.
But the main issue here with that is that you have to coordinate everyone's
efforts. And you hate the whiskey people. We know. It's a real feud going on there. Yeah. All right, we got a couple of beers today.
Yep.
First off, we have the double IPA version 12 from Cloudwater. And this is the pentultimate edition of the Cloudwater. I like saying the word pentultimate because I don't get to say it very often. Next to last.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The look on your face was interesting. So this is the 13 will be the last version of this, and then Cloudwater switching to a rotational cycle. I think there's 4 different.
I think there were 3.
Oh, 3? Yeah. 3 double IPAs we're going to do.
New World.
I don't remember what the name for it is.
Well, it says NW.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's New World.
Yeah.
And then it's the Imperial.
It was an IPA.
Yeah, Imperial IPA and New England IPA. Yeah. New England double IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those are going to come out on a cycle based on the availability of ingredients. So that'll be interesting to try out when those finally start coming out. So let's open this up, and then we'll save the next beer for whenever we get to it. Would you like to pour it for us, or I feel like since we have such an esteemed colleague here with us. Matthias is a sloppy pourer, as we all know.
Oh, the flavor!
Yeah, I can smell it from here. That's amazing. That smells so good. All right, wow, that is really nice head on that. Really foamy and frothy. It looks great. Very cloudy.
As it should be.
As it should be, indeed. Now, how many versions of this have you tried, Matthias?
I think I've tried the 6, 9, 10, 11, and I actually
12.
So I actually cheated and had the 12 when I was in Norway.
Oh,
with Vetra.
Holding on us?
What?
Man, you holding on us?
Well, maybe a little bit.
All right. Yeah. See, I've had the 6, 7.
I think I had the 7 as well.
9. I want to say the 10.
We had the 10.
Yeah.
I think we even
the 9 and the 10, and now the 12. I didn't get the 11. And
maybe I've had the 9 and the 10 and 11, and now number 12.
All right. So
and I think that my favorite was the 10 or the 11. Which one was the best of those?
I think the 10 was the better one.
I think it was.
I remember.
I think it was 11.
Might have been.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed in one. It was either the 9, 10, or 11.
That was the kind of farty hops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like the 6 was great, and the 7 wasn't very good.
6 was amazing.
Yeah, and then I thought it was the 9. That was the purple can, right? The purple and
it wasn't a can.
What was bottle?
Well, it was the first can, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, then the label was
purple.
The label was purple. Yeah, purple and blue or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
I want to say I like that one was really good, but I don't know. They all kind of none of them have been horrible, but some of them have been better than others.
The first time I had the 9, I thought it was really amazing, but the second time I got that bit of sulfur in the aroma.
It might have been the 9 that I did not like that much then.
Yeah, I think the 10 was the better one of those two.
10 was the better one of those, yeah.
Because it seems like every other one is
a
little better than the one before, and then I heard apparently the 3 was the best of all, but then no one knew about it at the time, and it went really fast.
I thought the 6 was the highest rated one of them all.
Oh, was it? I think the 6 was the first one that really, like the 3 came out on a bunch of lists.
6 is the one that actually boomed it off.
Well, what happened was there was a list of like the 20 best beers in the world, and the version 3 was on that list, and the list came out right about the time the 6 came out.
Oh, so that's why the 6 got really popular.
And that's why the 6 just really blew up.
All right.
Well, let's take a sip.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Let's go.
Cheers.
All right, so what do you think? You had this back.
I had it back in Norway.
Yeah, but that was a month ago?
That was in mid-March, yeah, so about a month ago. A little bit less than a month ago.
All right. And what did you think about it upon the first try?
Well, I wasn't as blown away by it as I've been by some of the others. Like the 6 is probably the one that I still enjoyed the most. So I think it lacked a little bit of like hop complexity in this one. Okay. So I think it feels like it's almost all Nelson hops. It's got like the kind of grape kind of character to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's missing some of that like tropical fruit punch that I've come to enjoy in the others. So I think that's something that I'm missing in this one.
Yeah, this uses Mosaic, Nelson, Sauvignon, Chinook, and Citra. For aroma hops, bittering hops are Pilgrim Alpha and CO2 extract. Malts are Golden Promise, oats, dextrose, monohydrate, and caramel.
All right.
So I really like how they just laid it off for you right there.
If you look at the bottom of the can, you can see that it's best before end of March. So,
right,
it is a little bit old.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's best before end of March this month? Holy shit. So when is this packaged?
1st of March. They have really tight deadlines.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the idea is they want you to drink it as fresh as possible.
Well, obviously. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this it's not as juicy as
no, exactly.
the other ones.
It's kind of grapey.
It's more like an old traditional IPA. Than the previous ones. You have more of the bitter hops and not as much aroma hops and juicy hop flavors.
Yeah. I think the thing is, like, I enjoyed the smell of it. Like, when you open the can, it smells fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
But it kind of drops off super fast. Yeah. And there's not that much, just as you said, like, there's not that much juiciness or fruitiness in the flavor of it.
I think it's a little boozy, too, at the end. I mean, it is.
I don't really get much booze from it.
It's
9%. Yeah. Well, I don't think I've ever found the other ones very boozy, but this one, I just kind of feel a little bit of the...
I think that's because since you don't have all of these juicy flavors.
Yeah.
You get more of the booziness because the juicy flavors mask the
it's like when I breathe out, I can feel a little bit of the booziness from it, but I don't get it on the smell or...
They actually give you a lot of information on the untapped details as well.
Really? Tell us. What do they give us?
Well, it's mostly the same there, but they actually tell you that the Mosaic hops are the ones taking the lead in version 12, and it's backed up in the Whirlpool by Nelson. So it might be that Nelson takes kind of a bigger step since that's added later.
All right.
That's why we're getting like the grape kind of character from it, or at least I am.
Yeah. No, I see the grapiness.
You can see the grapiness?
I see where you're getting that. All right, so...
When it's added. I can't see that on the...
It's not easy to go back all that far. I'm sure it's a well-checked-in beer.
Oh, probably. But I mean, on the desktop application, you can see when it was first added.
Oh, yeah. All right, so how are we feeling about this one? How does it stand up against the past?
I think this is probably my least favorite of the series, of those I've tried from the series.
Yeah, I think it's still better than the one that I found, like Farty.
Yeah, number 9, but I enjoyed it, number 9, very much the first time I had it. So
I know you did. So I think it might be like a bottle variation on that one.
Yeah, and I also found that when I had the number 9 the first time, I hadn't had anything else to drink before it.
Yeah.
And then I enjoyed it. But the second time I drank it, I had a beer or two before.
Yeah.
And then I really could feel the sulfurous aromas.
Yeah, and I think because that's the one that we ordered 2 different Cloudwater beers at the same time, right? So then we got the Mosaic Experimental IPA as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I had that one before I had the double IPA one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think when you poured from the second can here, it actually improved quite a lot.
Did it? Or are you just making that up now?
No, I think it was actually better. What? Here we go. So it's packaged on the 10th of February.
All right. Well, it comes in at a 4.3, or I'm sorry, 4.32 out of 2,174 reviews on Untapped. But yeah, I think that's really high. I don't.
Well, I mean, it might have been really, really good in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to consider that it's basically 2 months old now.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, Mosaic and Nelson are two quite volatile hop types. So, I mean, those are going to kind of change quite fast. So, I think it might have been a lot better than this a month ago.
Yeah, and it came into the beer store where I ordered it quite late. After, I think I ordered it in the middle of March or something like that. So when I got when I had received the cans, it was already old.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's my feeling as well, because it didn't show up at like where you usually can order the Cloudwater stuff until really late.
Yeah.
So it seems like either some like distribution kind of delay or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because the beer store where I ordered them, you could only order 2, but number 13 you can order any money you wanted.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it might have actually been a smaller batch or something like that, maybe. So they might have sold out a lot of it in the UK to begin with. Wow. Your burps actually kind of taste like raw hops.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. So where do you order your Cloudwater from? Because it's not always the easiest to.
I order them from Beer Gonzo.
All right, that's a good site. I've ordered from there before. Yeah. I think that's where we ordered the one time that we got the Cloudwaters.
Yeah, that's where we also got the small Cantillon Guesses, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They were actually reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And it's quite a good store to order English beer from.
Yeah.
And the delivery time was quite fast as well.
Yeah, exactly. Usually around 4 business days.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens after Brexit.
Yeah.
How that all works out. In 2 years, we'll see what happens.
Exactly. All right, that's going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah. All right, so what do we rate this one?
I'm going to go for a 3.5. Because I know that they can do so much better. But yeah, also, this is old now, so it's kind of might be a little bit unjustified to rate it that low.
It is what it is. We know we're having it now. This is what it is. So it's at this point.
At this point in time.
This is how we review it. And Thomas?
Yeah, I'm a bit kinder. I'd say 3.75.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3.75 as well. It's still really good, but you're right. It probably would have been even better about a month ago.
Yeah. Probably a month and a half ago. That's where you would have found like the sweet spot.
So the day of release would be a month and a half ago?
No, day of release was the 10th of February.
Oh, 10th of February. I'm sorry. I was thinking you said 10th of March for some reason.
All right. That's not what I said.
All right. I'm not really listening to what you say most of the time, so it should not come as a surprise at all. All right. So getting back to the Swedish beer consumer advocacy, do you have a website where people can...
Where do you sign up?
Yeah. You can go into the website, which is www.Svenska Ölfrämjandet without any dots.se.
Okay. And is there a membership fee, or is it just like...
there's a membership fee. That's 300 kronor a year.
Okay.
And when we had our annual meet a couple of months ago, when I became chairman, we also instated family membership. So if you have significant other that's also interested in beer, you can sign up, both of you, and it would cost you 500 kronor.
Okay, so we're saying is Matthias and I can sign up together then.
Yeah, exactly. You can sign up together.
Excellent. I'm glad we can do that.
We have a membership magazine called Maltesen, and you will only get one of those in that case.
Oh, sorry.
So we got to fight for it.
Yeah,
exactly. Take half the magazine each.
That seems only fair.
We'll just pick a couple of pages and tear.
Yeah. Just rip it right in the middle. It'd be like King Solomon and the baby. We just rip it in half and then...
There you go.
Yep. Okay. And so how many events do you have a year? Is it just the...
Well, the events are generally organized by the local sections.
Okay. So is it like the Skåne section and then Holland?
We have a local section in Lund.
Okay.
Actually... the brew club in Lund has become a member of Swedish Ölfrämjandet, and they're quite active. Have a lot of events, but we will start to have more like a local section in Skåne to have events around the different towns and villages in Skåne.
Okay, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah, really help build community and get more people.
Exactly.
People out of their house, out of the woodworks, and talking about beer and sharing more.
Yeah,
it's always good.
And there's quite an active local section in Gothenburg.
Okay.
And they usually meet at Haket.
That's a good place.
If you know the place.
It's a great place.
The problem that they have is that it's too popular.
Oh, wow.
Because the events are fully booked every time, and people are getting pissed off because they come in 24 hours after the tickets are released, and it's sold out. So they are actually thinking about starting up a second section in Gothenburg.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Are those? Is that the one that they were planning on making a brew pub? Was that Hocket or was it someone else?
Maybe. Yeah. I think so.
It was, right?
Yeah.
So I think wasn't it Beer News?
Yeah, Beer News reported
like
about
the other
it.
day.
Yeah. That's Hocket. Yeah.
Yeah. So they wanted to open a brew pub.
Okay.
I mean that should be really interesting.
Yeah. There's also a section in Norrköping.
Okay.
That's also quite active.
Yeah.
And then we have Stockholm, which is not that active.
So Stockholm probably needs to get a little bit more active.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got
exactly.
tons of good locations, like with Akkurat and Oliver's Hut and
exactly.
I think
the problem with Stockholm is that a
Stockholm,
lot of the beer nerds in Stockholm are quite content on sitting at Akkurat or
true.
Yeah.
So they don't see the need for promoting it more than it is.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, to have an active local section, you have to have people who are willing to put in the time. Because, I mean, this is a non-profit organization, so all of us, including us in the board, are doing it on our free time.
Yeah.
And when you have a local section that's active, it also depends on people who basically donate their free time.
Yeah. But I mean, there should be, well, especially with the craft beer scene and the way it's evolved over the past 5 years over here, then there should be enough passionate people to actually get some of their free time in and get the beer scene moving forward instead of kind of backward.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now this it's. From what I've been trying to pay attention to what's happening within the beer scene in Stockholm, and it doesn't seem like we have tap takeovers and guest breweries in it feels like every week there's one or two beer events happening, but I never see anything in Stockholm at the same pace that we have here.
No, not the same way. I mean, I recently made a beer map of Stockholm for when I was going up for the Omnipolo event. I mean, Stockholm doesn't really have that many great beer places.
No.
Not I mean, considering that Stockholm is 3 times as large as Malmö. You should really have 3 times as many
okay, well, I mean, let's break it down. You've got 2 Brewdogs, you've got Oliver Twist, you've got Akkurat, Omnipollo,
Katarina Ölcafé.
Yeah, you've got the
Babayan.
The Moon and some
Man and
the Moon.
Yeah. Well, Mikkeller opened up now.
Mikkeller's opened up. You have Monks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Monks has a bunch of places.
Yeah. There's Bishop's Arms.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of Bishop's Arms, but they're really just a few of them. That's good.
Well, the one by the train station is.
Yeah, but the people working there are not that passionate about it.
If you compare it to the Malmö ones,
I think the best bishop in Stockholm is one on Hornsgatan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the second best is probably on Folkungagatan.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Well, I mean, we came up with 15 places just off the top of our head.
Yeah, I mean, then you look at Malmö, where you have Tap Room, you got Bishop Savoy, Bishop Gustav, Beer Ditch, you got Brewdog, you have Peace and Honey, Syltan, Salon Småland, Neutrals.
Yeah.
Both bishops are good.
Yeah. And that's 9.
Yeah, and then, so it should have been 3 times as many in Stockholm, basically.
Yeah. So
there are other places that maybe we just don't think of. I mean, you don't know.
There should really have been around 30 places in Stockholm.
Yeah.
And
so what do you say about that?
I'm just saying that there's probably at least 20 that we could come up with if we looked. I mean, of various quality and depending on how.
I still tend to little.
Well, I don't live there. I don't know the ins and outs of Stockholm, but I'm just saying the craft beer scene doesn't seem to be as interesting outside of a couple of places as it is.
And what I've noticed also is that places like the most prominent places like Akkurat and Oliver Twist don't really embrace the local craft beer culture like the places do here in Malmö.
Well, see, I thought that Akkurat really embraced the craft beer culture because when I've been there, it's been mostly Swedish beers on tap.
Yeah, Swedish beer from Närke and Sjöbo and Nynäshamn.
Yeah. I mean, that's all they had, basically.
Yeah, because so you think that, well, there's not much happening in Stockholm in craft beer.
Yeah.
So, and then you go to Katarina Ölcafé and you see that they have Danderyd and other local craft beer breweries in Stockholm that never show up on Akkurat and Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
I think one of the cool ones that do the local stuff right is wasn't it the Brewdog bar that's next door to Stockholm Brewing Company, where they went through the wall to get like a tap from the tanks or something like that.
Nice.
So it was like, I think it was one of the bright tanks at Stockholm Brewing Company that's connected right into a tap in Brewdog or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, I could be wrong, but they broke the wall somehow.
The fable is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so to really get a feel of the craft beer scene in Stockholm, you should go to other places than Akkurat and Oliver Twist.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Because I've been always underwhelmed by that. I mean, Akkurat has an amazing cellar, and they have great bottle selection, but I've always been a little underwhelmed by their tap selection.
Yeah. Well, they have the Cantillon on tap. But,
okay, great. They have one Cantillon on tap. Hooray! Exactly, but exactly. I mean, it's not like.
I mean,
they've got like 30 taps. So I mean, it's like, all right.
To be fair, that's all I need.
I know. It makes you happy camper.
Well, the last time I was there with work for business meetings, so we snuck in the time to go to Akkurat after all our meetings were done and before our flight back. And it was just like the regular Cantillon Ghost on tap, and I think I had like 4 of them.
Yeah.
It was like the only thing that I came back to. It was like, I'll get the Akkurat burger, and then I'm just going to have the Ghost on tap.
But, I mean, if you put them against each other, if Akkurat and Taproom would have been in the same town, I would rather go to Taproom.
Well, you have a bigger selection.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a sucker for that vintage list.
I know. That's That's why I can never go to Brussels with you.
Well, you can't even go to Stockholm with me.
Well, we could, maybe, one day.
If we don't go to Archdruid, you mean?
Yeah, I don't think I can afford that. My wife would kill me. All right, so up next, we have something from Clown Shoes.
Beer number 2.
It's the Archdruid, which is a red ale aged in Irish whiskey barrels.
Recently released at Systembolaget.
Yes, so you can still find it on the shelves. I think I picked this up a week ago.
Ish.
Yeah, about a week ago, or I guess 2 weeks at this point. But you can still find it on the shelves. Last time I checked, it comes in at also a 9% ABV. And would you call this an imperial red ale at that point?
You probably would, yeah.
Huh?
I mean, a red ale is usually quite low ABV if you're talking about traditional English red ales.
Yeah.
I mean, then you would probably do something around like 4.5%, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of like the English malts.
So this would be our second imperial red ale to review.
Oh, it would. This one is barrel aged as well.
Yeah. Whereas the last one was not barrel aged.
The last one was more of a session barley wine, right?
That's what we determined it to be. It was the Big Top by Magic Rock.
Yep. I think this is kind of going towards that same. So I think as soon as you go into like an imperial red ale, you kind of go into barley wine territory automatically.
True.
But you don't have that fudgy aroma that you get from a barley wine.
No, it's more like a kind of like an American barley wine.
Yeah. Well,
why's it gotta be American?
Really. Yeah. An American barley wine, you usually get more hops as well, and also more fudgy maltiness.
It actually smells like a bit floral.
Yeah.
Don't really get that much whiskey barrel from it.
No.
It's very lightly smell of whiskey barrel. It's very. If I didn't know it was whiskey barrel, I think I would probably miss it.
I took a sip on it from it now, and it's actually quite sour. You have tartness, and I'm not sure if it's infected or if it should be like that.
Kind of tastes like a barrel infection, actually.
Yeah. But it's not unpleasant barrel infection.
No, so this is a funny thing as well, because Lost Abbey has the Agave Maria, and so my dad and I are huge suckers for Lost Abbey, like their heavy stuff, like their barley wines and their imperial stouts. And so we bought Morton at Ölbutiken had the Agave Maria in the 375 small bottles, so we got one each. I think this is like 2 years ago or something like that. Brought them home and drank one, and it was completely sour and absolutely delicious. And then we waited, I think, like 1.5 years to open the next one, and that one wasn't sour. And then I think it was 2 months later that Lost Abbey went out and said, "Oh, now we've done our first tequila barrel-aged sour ale." So the thing I should have mentioned from the beginning was that the Agave Maria is tequila barrel-aged beer. But it was not until like 2 years or 1.5 years later that we figured out that, oh shit, it must have been infected, the first one. But we actually rated the infected one higher than the non-infected one. Because the sourness in it just created a really nice blend of flavor between like the tequila barrel aging and the beer. So it was like a sour barley wine aged on tequila barrels. And it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, from the look of this, it looks like the people that checked it in Sweden are calling it tart.
Yeah.
Almost winous.
This actually has like that same...
Oddly tastes like apple juice.
Like a 9% apple juice.
Yeah. But if you look at...
The American ones?
The American people that checked it in, you're getting like... let me switch down here.
No, because this
more
has
oak, vanilla, and bourbon. Some underlying sweetness, not cloying, improves with aging.
Yeah, there's no sweetness at all in this.
Barrel aged, lots of oak, vanilla, less bourbon flavor on the sweet side.
Exactly. There's no sweetness at all.
Completely different experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is more like an Old Brun or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say it tastes almost like an Old Brun, definitely.
It's like an Old Brun in the in the less vinegary spectrum.
Yeah, because I definitely get that vinegaryness out of it, which I quite enjoy. So
I really like that in like Flemish Reds and the Oud Bruins, but I don't know if I want it in a whiskey barrel aged barley wine or imperial red ale.
Imperial red ale.
Yeah.
I don't mind it actually. I kind of dig the.
Well, the thing is, like, it
actually, juxtaposition of the two flavors.
Yeah, it creates a really interesting beer, and I think this is kind of the exact same tartness and sourness that we really enjoyed in the Infected Lost Abbey. So I mean, in a way, it brings back like really fond memories of a good beer that just was not supposed to be that way, but we didn't know of. So I like it.
Yeah, it's a happy accident, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think it's supposed to taste like this.
Oh, yeah, I 100% think it's not supposed to taste like this.
No.
I think it's supposed to be much more vanilla vanilla and bourbon and rounded in characters, and this is much more.
This is just infected as shit.
Yeah. This is much more red wine vinegar kind of.
Yeah.
And barrel aged.
So, Clown Shoes, you better send a new batch to Sweden.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is probably not what they were expecting from this.
No.
But I still don't think it's an unpleasant beer.
Mm-hmm. No, it's just different.
But even though it's not supposed to taste this way.
I mean, that's why I came to think about the Lost Abbey story. Is that it doesn't taste bad, but it wasn't intended to be this way. So, it's basically the consensus of that story.
All right, good story, man. I'm glad you shared it with us.
Well, you were sitting there looking at your phone the whole time. So.
But I was trying to look up what people were saying, and I heard your story, and I think it's a good example of, like you said, happy accidents, where it wasn't intended to be like this, but it turned out to be a good thing. Speaking of which, of unhappy accidents, I was at Fermentoren, and I was talking with the dry and bitter guy.
Son?
Yeah, Son. He was bartending. And we were talking about the
Dank and Juicy?
Dank and Juicy.
Oh, really?
And, because I said, I saw it was on tap, and I was like, yeah, I had that the last time we were here, and I talked about the podcast, and we reviewed it, and we didn't want to give it a review because it didn't taste right. And he's like, yeah, I know that batch. There was something off with it. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And then he gave me a new sample of the latest batch, and it was much, much better.
Oh, nice. That's good to hear.
It was much juicier and much danker. There was still this bitter, Danish bitter undercurrent at the end, but it wasn't like the total bitter bomb that we had when we tried it. So
that's good.
Yeah, it was good. It was much better.
Yeah.
I actually saw a comment on Tap now. That said that Clown Shoes has apparently admitted that this batch has been infected with lactobacillus.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
So that's one of the ones we got.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you rate your infected, which sounds like horrible. Well, it just sounds like, how would you rate your infected beer?
Well, we won the Lacto lottery on this one. But I mean, I still enjoy this. So
it's a hard beer to rate.
It is, right? Because you know it's not intended to be this way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I rated the last one first, so Stefan, you go first.
Okay, actually I kind of enjoy this a little more than the double IPA version 12.
That's kind of what I was going.
Yeah. But when it evens on, I still give it. I think I'm going to give it the exact same rating of a 3.75. Yeah. Even though I like it a little bit better, it's a totally different beer. If I had to choose between the two, I'd probably go for the Infected Clown Shoes again first. But I'm going to give it a 3.75 still.
Yeah, it's hard because I mean, should you rate it from your enjoyment of the beer, or should you rate it from how it represents the style?
Oh, we've been mulling this one over for a while.
Like we always go with how well we enjoyed the beer.
Because
but then we come up with something like the Goza to Hollywood, where we gave it a 5 out of 5 because it was the best version of a Goza I think that we've ever had. So we kind of straddled the fence on this a little bit.
We just do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make it easy then and give it a 3.75 as well, because I quite enjoyed it, even though it's not supposed to taste this way.
There's no way in hell it's supposed to taste this way.
Yeah. Well, and then we got a trifecta thing going, because I'm going to give it a 3.75 as well.
Excellent. Well, that's our episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Where can we find us online, Matthias? You got this all wrapped up.
Oh, we got Stitcher, we got iTunes, we got Instagram, we got Facebook. That's about it.
Yep, what'sontappodcast.com.
Yeah, true. The website
is our website.
Yeah.
So find us online. And I hope you picked up well since you're sitting so far away and leaning back in your chair. Because, people don't want to hear you when you talk.
No, that's true.
Okay, until next time, keep drinking.